make sure that standardization goes not at the expense of what the underlying normative core may be. And we need, I think, more discussion also beyond philosophy and those disciplines about what normativity may mean and what different understandings may exist and how they are informative for these management and compliance subjects as well. That would be my comment.
As I say, I agree with you, Till. I think it's important not to lose the normative aspect of whatever frameworks we're creating, so that it's not just a question of functionality that works in specific context. Because the one good thing about normative approaches is that they last good time. The idea that you can get rid of them, maybe it's good to just refine them and see what is relevant in today's context. But the shift completely and ignoring them just has a danger of losing track of a guiding star for the managerial approach. But I agree with you. It's good to have the managerial functional ones, but then to also keep in mind that the normative aspect is very important.
So I think we have one more question. Thank you.
Thank you. It's also a follow-up to the last comment as well, and this is addressed to all of you. I was very interested in Professor Talibakar's presentation and the idea of how to go back to that moral reasoning that will give resonance to everybody. And you were talking about that in the European context. And I've always been thinking about how do we do this in the global context, because you have the various different faith-based normative frameworks that have come, and I don't know if there has been work done on that, and how do you translate that also through the prisms of the various disciplines that look at this. So you've got the legal profession that focuses on rules, you've got the economic profession that focuses on incentives and sanctions, and you've also got the political science focus on governance and stakeholder relations and parties and so on. So I guess my question would be, how would we go about distilling what are these moral principles that maybe began in faith-based and philosophical traditions to something that can be translated into our institutions and that can be get buy-in from your ordinary employee, citizen, consumer?
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, a $1 million question. So my first answer would be what I would find interesting as a starting point to reflect on business ethics themes from different normative angles. So to reflect from a virtue ethical perspective, from a deontological perspective, from different schools of ethical thought, how would we assess or develop specific business ethics issues and questions. And then we can analyze in a second step to which degree we observe in this regard convergence or overlap. So, because the other thing would be, is it worthwhile to search for some overarching, in some sense, universal set of norms? And we all know there are very different traditions and assumptions whether this is possible or not. And I think that's perhaps not the best starting point, at least from my view. So I would start with a more modest approach, actually starting from different ways of thinking, from different traditions, people, scholars, companies come from, and what do these traditions mean, and how do they inform issues of business ethics, CSR, sustainability, and so on and so on. And then to see to which degree there is convergence. But this would be just my opinion.
I think so. This is a very long journey. that these are the moral principles that we have to develop in education, and that will be translated. So, because in India, this business ethics that is limited to business schools, and that is not implemented, and it is a very long journey. That's why I told this thing. So, no doubt, this effort sale in this regard, and we should work on this one, and so that we can proceed to achieve that goal. Thank you.
I just make a quick comment. So I was thinking one approach that I think might work. It's something that I've seen done in my business school, is to also include the concept of managerial anthropology and like roots of human flourishing as a guideline then to implement these classical frameworks to talk about whether it's deontology or virtue ethics, but the reference is human flourishing. I think it has worked in some places and it's working. I see it also because in my context, my students have different beliefs, cultural backgrounds, and you really do need to find something that would appeal to them and encourage them to be ethical. So the recourse community side that I have is not just, oh, I believe this, but it's more, look at the human persons, look at the other people. You want to flourish, you want people to flourish. What can you do to contribute to that? That forms the background now. And we're talking about human dignity who's a human person, and that kind of helps the conversation to start off in a way that people can at least identify to be human and being interested in protecting dignity and flourishing with others. So that's one practical tip that I know that has worked in teaching business ethics, for example, in my institution.
Okay, thank you very much. A hand to our panelists and reporters on the global survey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Very interesting, this one.
That's such a UN question.
That's why people don't know how difficult our job is.
That whole alliance of civilization. Because there was that guy, Samuel Huntington, kept on talking about the clash of civilization, so we had to come up with the alliance.
Global South. So one from Latin America, one from Asia, and one from Africa. It's well-being and happiness. And then to get more, we can see partners, from Europe, and see what kind of ethical issues arise there, or because I did that on leading the article.
Instead of business, yes, business.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes you can do some very efficient, very different knowledge.
Because it's the whole,
I think parallel sessions.
and
today to collect from different perspectives what convergent and similar in assessments of subjects to figure out their remaining.
yesterday they were talking
I did that with university and the entire SCP. So I think that was the first comparison. Because most people are only in Africa.
Silos.
Yeah.
Well, even in Europe, there's very different traditions.
That's very interesting to hear.
And they get completely now blurred on the surface level because of this unifying standardization. But still, of course, within the culture, within the thinking, some of them is still rooted.
So
is it this one? This is for data?
I don't even think it's the standardization, it's also the fact that you want to measure everything.
But this is part of the standardization. You only standardize things then that you are able to measure to prove
Yeah.
that it has some
But that is
effect
also
on
very
us.
much,
But this, of course, also very much narrows down
Yeah.
which subjects you
It
focus
is
on,
just
which
after
issues you care about.
Yeah.
This is not from a normative
No.
perspective about importance or meaningfulness or pressing challenges. It's just
Oh,
from
no,
the
but this
perspective
one, he's
Measurable.
inviting people to his,
how to measure, how to
I got a
Seminar.
great critique to that.
this is like the other ethics lab.
And the
That's already
critique is easy.
Yeah.
As you ask,
I think
how can we change
Thierry
it?
didn't
So if you
send,
talk
but
with
he
people,
just sent
even
the one that we already have.
maybe the same if you talk to government people, they all understand the point. It's
But
not
I
the
keep on repeating, we need to reinstate culture as the basis of development, because otherwise we're missing the
I
point.
think it must be this one we have, yeah.
And
Do you want to
we
see
have
the
also
topics
brought
of the
culture
parallel
into
panel, I
arts
guess?
and performance in
The,
museums.
the next one,
And
is
so
it
even
here?
UNESCO, when it
It's
comes
in
to
those
those
rooms.
there's so many silos there, and now they're proposing a protocol, and I was part of the draft group. And they're basically going into libraries and, and I'm like, but guys,
So still some work to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's exciting, yeah.
And then
And I
there's
talked to
this
the
one
UN back in
that's
2012 on this issue, and then I was already working on this issue of positions. And they said to me, it's very
And then here's
necessary to
the
do, but it's too early and it's not applicable. It's
Mhm.
not practice. That's fine,
Yeah, of course, if you have the more surface, measurable things, it's easier to find agreement.
No, but back in 2015, we had to
So those are the
integrate
three.
the development agenda and the
I think
real
I'm gonna go to this one.
So that was very successful. So I also think it's
Have a break now.
great before. They don't
Hi, Doctor.
give any strategy of work. There, the cultural and dimension comes in the normative. Where are we going now?
I have to check also, but I think it's all in the other, I have 19. Oh, I need the presenter back.
So anyway, I got your number. from
Yes, you have the number there, you
list.
can send me private. The,
I should share the
I
presentation.
do.
I will
I could
share
share.
because it was a guy who was supposed to come from our business development section.
Yeah, I'm happy to tell you that. I don't have, my luggage was lost, so this is why I don't have. You gave me yours.
Where did you come from? From where?
Via Brussels, but the luggage was not loaded in Berlin. So they were understaffed, and then the pilot left because everyone had connecting flights in Brussels. So he left completely without luggage, 2.1 tons of luggage staying there. And then they
Is that
wanted
because the EU regulation?
No, it was because of the first holiday, first day of the holiday in Berlin, and then there was a soccer game the day before. So I think people just said they are sick and ill. They didn't show up. So they were understaffed,
Ridiculous.
completely ridiculous. And then
There's no more work ethic here.
what happened to the German work culture?
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
And now I got a message today that they send it back. They went to Brussels yesterday, and then it would not. I have to leave tomorrow, so I couldn't get it here. And
So better leave it in Berlin.
now I will get it on Saturday in Berlin. So hopefully.
I'm sure you will.
But that's not the problem, right? When you go back, it's very, very hard when you press here. And then,
You had a little,
I bought some. Huh?
You didn't have a little hand.
No, just toothbrush. But I bought
I
some.
put one extra pair of clothes in
Yeah,
my hand
but
luggage.
for 4 days, one extra pair.
You will yourself.
Okay, are you fine with this?
Yeah, I'm gonna see you.
Okay. Where is the presenter? Oh, it doesn't. It's for Neil. Hi.
You know, who is the I don't know.
Is it the name of a person?
Yes, it's the name of it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to meet him here.
In this room?
Yes, but I don't know.
But you
how.
can send the message that you're here.
Yes, I sent already. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have you got the? Thank you, Till. Really appreciate your input. That went very well.
So then report to big postdoc.
I'm going to give him the report. Okay. In full detail. Yeah.